Good morning and welcome to A Woman's Word. I'm Marquita Smith. I've actually been seeking God for some time about coming back to these women's words, and it's been a while since I've done one. And today is my birthday. I'm actually really excited. It's my 39th birthday. Just want to give you a little picture of where I am. This place is just so beautiful. You can see a little bit behind me, the beauty here. It's just lovely. It's a lovely environment, lovely setting with my family and just enjoying myself. And this morning, the Lord just ministered beautifully to me. So I hope you can hear and see me well to something I wanted to share with you. Today's topic is, does He see you? And we're going to look at that in relationship to the Lord, but also in relationship to other people, particularly romantic relationships with men. And he gave me Genesis chapters 15, 16, and 17, and he was ministering to my heart today. But the focus today is going to be on Genesis 16, where in that chapter you see Abram, who's later named Abraham or Abraham, and his wife Sarai, who's later renamed Sarah. You see the two of them trying to figure out how to fulfill God's promise to Abram. In Genesis 15, God reconfirms the covenant. He promises him that he will give him descendants that are more numerous than the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. And he's like, but I don't have any kids. And his wife is barren, and they are elderly at this point. So they both were starting to get a little concerned. So in Genesis 16, they figure, okay, well, maybe something's off. Maybe we've been doing something wrong. And she has this maid servant that they picked up when they were in Egypt. She gives her to Abram and says, lay with her, and maybe I can have children through her. Maybe I can build a family through her. That's the goal. So Hagar, this the Egyptian maidservant, she gets pregnant, but then she's strutting around all proud. Woo-hoo, I'm having the master's baby. And Sarai, of course, is not trying to have that and starts to mistreat her and abuse her. This is where the important part happens. So Hagar, she runs away because she's been abused by her mistress, and she runs away, and God shows up. He shows up and he begins to speak to her. He calls her by name. He says, Hagar. He says, where are you coming from and where are you going? And she says, I'm running away from my mistress because she's been mistreating me. Now, she doesn't know where she's going, so she couldn't answer that question. She just answered the where she was coming from question. And he asked that where are you going question to really help her to see some things, to help her to realize that she really didn't know where she was going. And so this is why he sends her back to her mistress, because he's like, you've headed out. You're in the desert. You're all alone. You have no provisions, no goal, no focus, no mission. Go back. I'm going to make that baby that you're carrying into 12 nations. I'm going to birth 12 princes out of him. I'm going to bless them. And so he's telling her, listen, you have no focus. You have no goals. I got to send you back so that you can develop some of that. And while she's developing that, his heart was that she would develop a strong relationship with him as well. That's true for all of us. Wherever we are, we got to know where we've come from and where we're going. As we know those things, we will see ourselves rightly. She didn't see herself rightly. She saw herself as the maid servant, and then when she finally got pregnant by the master, her identity was wrapped all up in that. But she didn't see herself as a daughter of the Most High God. She come out of Egypt and all that idolatry. In Abram's house, she really didn't let the God of Israel minister to her, the God of the Hebrews, the God of Abraham minister to her. But now he shows up. So she says to him, he is El Roi, the God who sees me. Now, here is the big deal. I'm going to point something out to you. Now, as God is having this conversation with Hagar, he says to her, the son that you're carrying, I'm making it to 12 princes, and there'll be 12 great nations. I'm going to bless him mightily. But then he also says that this son is going to be a wild donkey of a man. He's going to be at enmity with all of the people surrounding him, and they're going to be at enmity with him. Now, she immediately goes, you're the God who sees me. And she's thankful that he sees her. But she doesn't address this destiny he's just put out there about the baby she's carrying. Now, God saw her. He's speaking to her. She has an opportunity at this point to continue the dialogue, to talk to him about her destiny and about the destiny of this child. She doesn't take that opportunity because in complete Jewish it says that you're the God who sees me, yet I still live. And so she's really just, amazed at the point that she's able to have this conversation with God. He's seeing her and she's not dead. But she misses the fact that he was trying to have a relationship with her. Did he want her to be in awe of him? Of course. He wants her love and praise. He wants her admiration and reverence. But he also wanted to interact with her. He wanted her to talk back to him. He wanted her to share more about her hopes and dreams and fears and concerns about this baby she was having. That was really important to God. And that's important to anyone who's in a healthy relationship with us. We may miss it if we're not looking at ourselves rightly, as she wasn't. All she saw was she's a maidservant, she's having a master's baby. That's it. That was her whole identity. That was her whole view of herself. So when God saw her, she didn't grasp the fullness of it. Here was an opportunity to interact with the God of the universe, the creator of heaven and earth, and talk to him about her destiny and the destiny of this baby. When I read that this morning, the first thing I thought was, oh God, if I were Hagar, and you said my son is going to be blessed and have these 12 nations come out from him, but he's going to be at enmity with everybody around him, and everybody around him is going to be at enmity with him, I'd have immediately asked you, Lord, please let him not be at enmity with everyone. Let him not be a man of opposition, a man of war, a man of violence, a man of anger and discord, a man of peace. Let him carry your blessing peacefully. Let him carry your blessing lovingly. Let him be a man of unity and wisdom. Like I would have asked for that, but at this point, I have an intimate relationship with my God. And I know that he wants to bless me. I know that he doesn't just want to oppress me or push me down or keep me in this place of reverential fear. He also wants to interact with me. And so you see in this particular scripture that Hagar does not ask him to address that destiny of that character of her son that she just pointed out, that God just pointed out. She doesn't say anything about it. She doesn't say, Lord, please don't let this be his fate. Lord, please bless him with, a different character, a different fate. Because had she done it, the Lord was ministering this to me today. Had she done that, had she prayed that prayer while she's in God at this moment, he, just like he did for Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and said, Lord, please give me more time. Don't let me die. God sent the prophet back and said, because I've heard your request, I'm going to give you more time to live. It's amazing. God has relented. He relented on Nineveh when they fasted and prayed and put on sackcloth. He didn't send the calamity that he promised. And the same is true for all of us. God can speak to us. Prophets can speak to us. But if our heart is grieved by what God says is coming or what is being revealed or the destiny that's ahead of us or the character within us, we can talk to God about it because he is the God who sees us. Not only does he see us, but he wants to also be seen. Not just as this God afar off, but a God nearby, a God who loves, who's intimately connected, who's concerned. He wants to have a dialogue with us. Now, this is a big deal because Hagar did not feel like she was seen by Avram, not until she got pregnant. She didn't feel like she was seen by Sarai, not until she got pregnant. She didn't feel like she had worth in their eyes, so she really didn't even see herself. We have to see ourselves, and then we have to demand that people who want to be in relationship with us, that they see us. God sees us. He's the God who sees us. He's the God who sees you. He wants to be in an intimate relationship with you. He wants you to communicate back with him. If you see things around you or things inside you that you're displeased with, he wants you to tell him about it and ask him to help you fix it. If she had prayed and said, Lord, change his destiny, God would have given her instructions. He would have told her how to draw Ishmael close to him. He would have told her how to stay close to him. But she didn't ask that question. And she continues on to be afar off from him after this. And the son is a little far off, so that mockery of God and of God's promises and the rebellion continue. And we see it continues as Ishmael interacts with Isaac. We see it continues in the line of Ishmael all over the Middle East. We see it that distance from the God of Israel, it remains. And it was supposed to be getting smaller and smaller. So God says, I can't use Hagar and the son that she's raising in my promise to Abram. Instead, I have to open Sarah's womb and I have to give her a child. This happens in our lives all the time. We get passed over for promotion. Now, sometimes it's the enemy attacking us, but other times it's because people don't see us. And why don't they see us? Because we don't see ourselves. People can't see the beauty in you, the talent, the gifts in you, if you don't see them and if you don't reveal them. If you don't interact with people, if you don't share what's inside of you, if you don't give of yourself to bless others, they won't see how awesome you are. They won't be able to appreciate how awesome you are, and you will not have a healthy thriving relationship with them, they will not be able to give you your due and interact with you rightly because they won't see you. Demand that you be seen, not just by your words, but by revealing who you really are to people. Do it at work, do it in friendships and acquaintances and associations, do it especially in romantic relationships. But don't just demand that you be seen, also see the people you say that you love, particularly, your romantic interests. Don't just stand in awe. Oh, he is so handsome. Oh, he is so smart. Nobody really wants to be worshipped. Nobody wants to be put on a pedestal. People want to be interacted with. People want to live life with other people. They want to experience things with other people. They want to be touched. They want to be moved. And you have to reveal you to them, and then you have to see them as they reveal themselves to you. Make sure he sees you. That's the person you should spend life with. The man who sees you, who has been sent to you by the God who sees you, because you see yourself. Make sure he sees you, and start by realizing that God sees you and seeing yourself. Reveal you to people. Be honest. And the things you don't like, seek God in prayer, but also in your efforts, walking that faith out by your works. Change. Be transformed. Keep letting yourself be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will know what God wants, and you'll agree that what he wants is good, satisfying, and able to succeed. The person he says you are, you will agree with him on it. And you will love who she is, and you will continue to grow and be transformed into that woman. And you will reveal her to the world. People will see you, they'll appreciate you, they'll bless you, and you'll be a blessing also to them. Don't be Hagar and miss out on being a blessing. Miss out on what's inside of you being a blessing to the world because you weren't bold enough to tell God what you really want. You aren't bold enough to tell the people around you what you deserve, or to share what's inside of you and give those gifts to the world. Don't hide it. Don't push it down. Don't stifle it. Open up. Be honest. Be real. Operate in integrity, but also strength and boldness, and appreciate others the way you want to be appreciated. I hope this blessed you. It blessed me so much today. I'm so excited about what God is doing in me. And I'm seeking to be Sarah, princess, who sees her worth and maybe laughs sometimes because it's like, God, are you kidding? You do that to me? But then agrees and does it, and then blesses those that come from me and everything that comes out from me to be a blessing in the earth. I pray that you also have the blessing of the princess Sarah on you as well, today and every day. I look forward to hopefully next week sharing another woman's word with you. Be blessed.